and gentlemen, welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I am Falak Said Khan, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these FaceTime with Leaders interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. By bringing together such visionaries on one platform, we hope to play a part in inspiring the lives of other leaders. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulas for many. And this is what we aim for with these sessions by making them a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry veteran on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Mr. Anurag Gupta. Hello, welcome, Mr. Gupta. We are glad to have you here today with us on FaceTime with Leaders.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here. So let me give you a quick brief about Mr. Anurag Gupta. He possesses nearly 3.5 decades of remarkable experience across a broad spectrum of industries. His extensive expertise encompasses areas such as business advisory, quality management systems, environmental and social governance, occupational health and safety, business continuity, risk assessment and management, CE marketing, green audits, and project planning and operations. He is also an accomplished training facilitator, specializing in various ISO standards. He has given his devout service to Maadhyam, where he has been employed for 2 decades, currently in the capacity of lead advisor and consultant. So, Mr. Gupta, could you begin by letting our viewers know in brief about your career journey?
See, I started my professional career in 1989 with a steels and a special steel manufacturing company. There I served for a decade plus into the various departments. And during this particular tenure, I came across the management system standards, international standards on the management systems. Being a part of core team and developing the systems for the organization, I basically developed a passion for these standards, for the quality, the environment, the social accountability and all. And from there, basically, it was a thought process initiating into me that I need to basically into the domain of business advisory services. So I initiated a process of that. And for the last 2.5 decades, I'm providing the advisory services to various organizations.
That's really very great to know, and an interesting career journey, I must say, indeed. So which of your job roles or functions have you found the most enjoyable?
So when I ventured into the advisory field, basically, this requires a lot of learning and updating the skills on a regular basis. That is very exciting and challenging. So I need to basically coordinate with the top management, the staff, middle management, and the workers as well into any organization. So that is a very patience required particular profile, because they are from a very different domain. They don't understand the language we spoke. So it is something like holding their hand for a very long time and developing the systems, the policies, the procedures for them. And 80% of my clientele is export-oriented unit. The services I provide, they are basically 80% export-oriented unit. So what we are talking in this particular era about the environment and the social governance, that is initiated way back, 15 years back, because the European and the American companies to whom they used to supply, they basically followed their standard in the Indian context. So you can say that I have seen my clientele growing multifold, and that gives me the purpose and the satisfaction. This is a brief about that, what you have asked.
That's really very great to know indeed. So I'm sure like throughout your journey, you've faced many challenges and of course you've grown from them. So I would like to ask like, what do you consider the best step or decision in your career journey?
As you rightly said, that the accepting a challenge at a early stage throughout my career journey and venturing into this particular consulting domain gave me a broad perspective of the business ecosystems, which the other person who is working in one organization can understand. So that was my best decision.
Okay, that's really like wonderful to know indeed, I must say. So do you believe that there is a better scope for ESG and corporate governance integration in your field?
Absolutely. The person who has a deep understanding of the subject on the principles of ESG and the corporate governance can help the organizations, the corporate world, in a better way to integrate their business strategies. See, my expertise enable me to assist my companies to whom I deliver my services. So need to understand what are the various stakeholders attached to that particular company, what are their requirements, and helping the top management to creating the strategy which will help them in the long term.
So that's true indeed. As an ESG and corporate governance expert, what values do you offer to the corporate world?
See, for the corporate world, understanding the subject into that particular deal is an essential requirement. First and foremost thing is ESG integration. Now, what that means is the primary values I can offer to any organization is that what I have learned through my journey of the last 22 or 25 years in this particular scenario, I can basically provide them the insight about the requirements. Right. Now, accordingly, they can develop their own strategies which can align with their objectives as well as the stakeholder requirements. These standards or these principles require the risk mitigation. There are various risks to any business entity, right? So what you can say is evaluating the risk beforehand give you basically the advantage where you can build a mitigation plan accordingly. And what are your priorities based on those risks? You can develop the strategy along with it. It helps in improving the stakeholder relationship also. Because if you are well planned, adhering to the principles, your stakeholder is basically what you can say they are more inclined towards yourself. It can be the person who is looking to join an organization. It can be the suppliers. It can be the customers. It can be the investors.
Right.
So along with that, basically the adherence to the legal compliances and the requirement, statutory and regulatory requirement. These are the essential, and for any organization, they need to understand that the compliance is the first and foremost requirement in order to run any business. So as a person from this particular domain, I can help the organization to these areas.
That's really very interesting and very great, I must say. Like, So when we talk about technology, what are some of the most remarkable changes you have seen in your field with changes in technology, and what changes do you expect to see with the advent of IoT, AI, ML, blockchain, big data, and Web 3.0?
See, I've witnessed a significant transformation into my area of expertise in the last, you can say, 15 years or so. The services I provide to various clientele I have into these particular area, the technology has developed so the earlier the person or the brand in Europe need to come to India or to depute someone in order to evaluate its supply chain. Right. Now the tools are there, the technology is there, where they can assess their entire supply chain on a real time with the help of those particular tools and technology. So whatsoever the requirement of ESG or the corporate governance evolve, because it is evolving on a day-to-day basis, the technology is going to help them in real time, basically, because it will be a big data. For an example of a corporate, of a multinational, having thousands of suppliers all across the world, in order to evaluate on these principles, it is a cumbersome task. But with the help of tools, they can achieve it very easily.
Yes.
I can say.
That's true. And definitely, we hope so. So, as you know, we are building a community of industry magnets. The move is meant for cross-pollination of knowledge and building a knowledge-sharing community of corporate giants and industry experts. So, what are your thoughts about this initiative taken about by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the whole World Development Corporation team?
See, I can say truly it is an excellent initiative taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the World Development Corporation team. Because I was not aware of this particular requirement which is coming up in this sector about the board requirement which is coming up, right? So it was some flyer which came to me and I attended a webinar, and from there I could learn about the requirement being generated by the industry. And these are basically the ministry requirement, or you can say the corporate affairs requirement. Now, then I enrolled myself and met a lot of veterans from the various industry, the various domain, and interacting with them, we have a group formed on basically the platform, and we exchange our ideas, we have thought process, and this is enhancing the knowledge of each and every person on a daily basis. See, knowledge is for sharing and sharing is for caring. We are caring for the society which is coming up. So this is the contribution which they have brought for all the people in our area of work.
Like really kind words by you, I must say. So it was fantastic conversing with you, and I'm confident that your insights will inspire future leaders. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Anurag Gupta. We wish you the best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds. Thank you so much once again for sharing all your wonderful principles and values that you live by, and the values that you plan to bring to the table through corporate governance and ESG, and also for sharing your career journey with us. I'm sure, like everyone watching this, it is going to help them grow in their careers too.
Thank you for that.
Thank
you
you
very much.